Oh, I suppose we need to see me, and then I need to be in the right box. What's up? Creepers and Keekers, Chris, Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? Alex, what's up, brother? What's going on, my man? You know, I'm an important man, child. Oh, impatient. Glasses. Yeah, aren't we all? Alan, hello. Don't mind me, I chose to do this right when I made a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can get pig noises put behind me, too. I'm not going to play games or anything today. This is literally an open chat. I prefer these. I like these a lot, actually. Hey, what's up? Serial killer. But I want to talk about, because I kind of feel I'm still conflicted about it. I'm still very conflicted about this, so I just couldn't talk there for a second. But I don't know if, hey, Electronics Emotions program, what's up, brother? I was just going to capture some footage for a video, but then I saw CC was online and had to be here instead. Nah, dude, go make your own video. I'm sure we'll probably want to see that more than this anyway. But so going back to what I was talking about, I'm eating peach cobbler. Oh, dude, cobbler of any kind is amazing, but peach especially. Good stuff. Back to what I'm conflicted about. I don't know if you've noticed or whatever. About 10 minutes ago, what's up, Spider? There's a new button down below. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm sure you'll see it. I'm not here to actually ask for people to join as memberships. Like I said, I'm still kind of 50-50 on whether I want to do it or not. You know what I mean? But I did it, and that's all there is to it. And I mentioned in one of my last streams that the main motivation is there are certain activities I want to do with you folks. That's what this is about, right? This is about interaction and having fun. I want to do more with it. We're in 2021, and we should be able to do more than just this, you know? I'm not talking about like taking a shower with you or anything. I mean, unless you super chat me enough money, I'll come out and shower with you. But there are some things I want to do, but my limited capacity up here can't handle overwhelmingness of too much, you know. So I figured I would put the membership thing there for those activities, and if people really want to do it, then obviously they're gonna join. If you're not really all excited about any of it, that's fine too, you know. So I'll never really bring it up. I'll never say, hey, don't forget to join the channel. I most certainly will thank people who have, whether it be live during something like this or in the video next after I notice it. But there are some things I want to do. But if there's too many people getting involved, then it'll end up just getting fucked up and it'll just ruin it for me. So I figure if we do it through a join membership kind of thing, only those people can participate in it. And thankfully, that will probably be a much smaller number. It's not necessarily about the money. I don't even remember what I set it at. It just said popular next to the number, so I hit it. If it needs to change, it needs to change. If it needs to go down, I think I did like the $2.99 or the $3.99. I honestly don't remember. I've been debating on doing it for that long. I don't know. The review has been okay. I mean, I've had the email in my save thing for forever to click the go for it button. So I made some updates on it as far as activities and such. And right now, the only one I have listed in there are junk boxes. I would like to do junk boxes, but if there are too many people involved, one, it won't be fun. And two, it'll just be overwhelming and too much of a task for me to take on. So that is the main reason why it's there. Activities, not just the junk box. We're going to come up with other ones. Some giveaways will only be through memberships, whereas other ones will be universal throughout everything. Unfortunately, anything that has to do with that, I have to stay in the lower 48 states, unless you're willing to cover at least half the shipping, especially to Canada. Shipping's out of control up to Canada. So, that's where we stand with that. I mean, aside from that, that's really all I wanted to say. I'll probably bring it up a couple more times in case people come in. Wow, 10 people. Holy shit. In case more people come in to explain what, where, and why. But yeah, so that's going to be there. If you want to ignore it, I have no problem with that. Go ahead and ignore it. I'm going to ignore it until people stop ignoring it. And then I will act accordingly. So that's really it. Wow. So we got a whole bunch of people in here. All right. So I've already, Brady Goat, 12, 11. So, okay, the 11, is that part of your name, or did you actually just type 11? Because I love Edelman. I wish he never left, but more bites. Oh. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see someone chop this up for a video. Because that's what they do with their time, right? What's good? Just creeping in the chat. Ha ha ha. What is up, man? Sword Run. I can't see the first word because my glasses aren't on, so. 11 people, so you did type that. I thought maybe that was a Brady Edelman kind of thing. My bad. My bad. Edelman rocks, though. Yeah, for a little dude. I mean, that guy, he can catch the ball. He was good at throwing. I believe he was a quarterback in high school. Maybe he was in college, too. I don't remember. But he was legit. I mean, it's kind of messed up that he got into the whole enhancement drug thing. That kind of sucks. I don't like seeing that, but whatever. He paid his dues, and he carried on. And he retired respectfully. At least I hope he did. I don't know. Are you still a fan of Brady? Are you still a fan of Brady now that he's flown the coop? I'll give you my answer afterwards. Oh, you didn't have to write your name again. I'm just saying I can't see. I just can barely see the word sword run. I don't know my God. Okay, potion sword run. Okay. Is that a Masters of the Universe reference? Yes, he gave us 6. Can't hate on that. Exactly. You know, in the last Super Bowl, I rooted for him. You could tell the last season he was with us, something was going on, and that's never good. Yeah, we had a tremendous loss when he left, but you know what? He took the Patriots and actually put them on the map for the long, you know. And the sad thing is my father grew up being didn't grow up in the 60s when the Patriots became a thing. He became a fan, obviously, because he's here from New England. But before, he was a Cleveland Browns fan. He still kind of was, you know. It was still in him. But we were always an okay team to not that great of a team. And it was shortly after he passed away that we became what we became. And it's sad that my father never got to see his Patriots be the winning guys, but it is what it is. He got a 6 rings, so yeah. Yeah, right? Right? Message retracted. Who did that? Did you do that, Alan? I didn't do it. I don't even have my hands on the mouse. I got my hands somewhere else. Can you guess? But yeah, no, I'm not. I have no hate for the guy. He took care of us as long as he could. And when a relationship's bad, you move on. You know, why stick around and go through aggravation, you know? You know what I'm saying? I had season tickets for 7 years. When Kraft bought the team, I moved to, they started winning, go figure. That's what would happen with me, man. I haven't seen a Patriots game live since the tuna. I was a kid, and there was some kind of a scandal, a sex scandal or something going on. And I don't remember what it was, but I do remember being at the game as a kid, not realizing how fucking lucky I was. And those people would blow up fuck dolls, throwing them around and not just like one, it was like a whole bunch of them. Slashing them around like they were fucking, beach balls. But it was because of whatever that sex scandal was that was going on. I don't remember what it was. So if any is a little older enough than me, Squish the Fish, yes. Oh, we got robbed that year. Fucking Illinois. That was when things were really fun, you know? Everything was some kind of an event. You don't get that too much anymore, you know? Tuna press conferences were legendary. Amen. Squish the fish. Yeah. We used to be plus team. Brady made us GOAT. Yes. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, never mind. I'll leave it at that. We were an iffy team for the longest time. An iffy team. And we kept getting to the Super Bowl probably by the time I was out of high school and everything. I remember one game when we played Green Bay Packers. It was one of those games where the ball got kicked off and someone hit a touchdown. They ran it for a touchdown. And then the ball was kicked to the other team. I can't remember who started. I want to say we received the ball first in that Super Bowl. But I was at this bar called Kai's getting ready to go to work. I worked the overnights at the time. Glico Joe, what's up, brother? And I just remember sitting there watching this. And the ball gets kicked. The first kick. And I believe we received first. And homeboy ran it for a fucking touchdown. And then it happened again, but with Green Bay. And I think that's when I started getting cynical, going, okay, something's got to be going on here. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell that happened. Crash Atari 2600 homebrew game. Physical cartridge from Atari Age is awesome. Okay. Cannon Head Clash. I'll have to check that out. Somewhere. Cannon Head Clash. That sounds like a fucking fantastic name of a game. Cannon Head Clash. That's cool. Oh, I didn't even tell you what I named the stupid thing. The membership thing. It's called the Creep Collective. Because I'll be collecting all your souls at the fucking gate. You are all my children now. If you click on the button. If you don't click on the button, then you're your own person. But once you click on that button, I own you. So that's part of the deal. GamerX has his boyfriends leaving downvotes. Oh, okay. They can leave downvotes. I don't give a shit. It's interaction. That's all I'm here for. It's funny how people do that. I was talking to someone the other day. Earlier today, I should say. And they were telling me about some of the things that happened here online with them. The doxing, kids' schools getting called, people's work being called. And, you know, I'm going to say something right now that's probably going to get cut out into a video, and I don't care. Someone calls my kid's school, calls my work, which I guarantee you they ain't going to let me go. You could tell them I said whatever the fuck. I don't care. They're not letting me go. And you really can't dox me because I've already told 100 people I live in a town called Melrose, Mass. I mean, at this point, fuck it. If anyone's going to come get me, come get me. But someone calls my work or calls my kid's school and tries to disrupt my actual life, then I will probably use some of my old resources to find out where they are. It looks like I'm going to take some vacation time. That is a threat. Actually, it's not a threat. It's a promise. It's a promise. But I leave them alone. You know, I poke once in a while, but I leave it be. If it comes back to me, then it comes back to me. So long story short, if they want to leave down votes and fucking leave comments and say I'm a pedophile and all that shit, it doesn't bother me. I'm not watching any of it. This all gets, like, actually 2 people messaged me today saying, the Canadian Gamers made a couple videos about me. And one of them said that I put one of my live streams on private or something like that. Because I was afraid of the repercussions of what I said about him. Call him a douchebag and tell him to F his mom and all that. I don't know. But I went and looked in my YouTube studio and was like, well, it's still public, so I don't know what fucking he's talking about. But they can keep doing that shit. I don't care. You make it personal and you make me fear for my kid's life. I'm willing to do a lot of things. I'm willing to do a lot of things to protect them. You aren't calling it creepers and geekers? No. Nope. It's funny, the whole geeker thing came from the Gamer Geek Nation. Someone asked me in my chat the other day. No, I'm sorry. On Max's chat, where did that come from? The Atari Creep. And it was part of the Gamer Geek Nation. I used to call all the people there, like, hey, geekers, how's your day? You know, I'm playing this game today. And it caught on. Everyone else started using the phrase geeker. You know what I mean? What's up, geekers? It's kind of like, I don't know, they just followed along. So that's where that came from, obviously, Atari Creep. So it'd be like creepers and geekers because there were Gamer Geek Nation people coming in too at the time because it was supposed to be a big collaboration. Now it all should make sense to everybody who could put the pieces together that actually give a shit. Protecting oneself for those we love should be seen as a virtue. Virtue or not, you mess with my kids, I'm killing you. You mess with my kids and I'm going to bury you where I find you. I'm not afraid to use a shovel, fuck's sake. Sup, Creep? Hope it's a good weekend, brother. Wolf, it is. It's a great weekend. I got a lot of things done today so far. I'm working on one of those Hasbro Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmets. But they had that huge gaping visor, so I had to use some styrene and build up on it. And then I used some body filler and a little spot glazing putty and got rid of the whole... Here, I'll go get it. It's right here waiting for touch-ups. Still needs a couple of things, but this used to be open like this much. So I basically got rid of that. There's a couple of spots I need to clean up. And I need to build up some material in here. For some reason, it's leaning in more. This side is straight as an arrow. This side, for some reason, is curving. So I'm going to take some milliput. As a matter of fact, I had the milliput right here. I should do it while I'm on the video with you. But you can see the back. The styrene was basically for support. And I just built up a lot of Bondo. And the reason it's white is because I have white primer. And I wanted to see what it would look like in one color. Because there was like 3 colors on there. There was the white from the plastic. The beige, I guess you would call it, from the Bondo. And then the maroon from the spot glazing putty. Put that down. So I wanted to see what it looked like in one color, so I just happened to have white primer, so I just hit that one spot. So, thank you, man. Thank you for saying it's awesome. She's the reason I'm here. Who's that? I have the same mess with my kids, and you'll have a much bigger problem. Yeah. Yep. She's the reason I'm still here, in all honesty. And you know what? I can say that about the girls that are here, too. So, I'm Hood. I'd have my way with a fool. Yeah, right? Right? I love it. Mass holes unite. Yeah, let me give you a little cultural history about Massachusetts people. There was a song written in the 60s by, I believe, a band that was in California. It's called Dirty Water. It was meant to be an insult. They hated Boston. They thought it was the shittiest place to be. You know, back then it was. Boston used to be real dirty. It was considered kind of a racist town. It was just not a pleasant place, you know? It was tough. It was rough and gruff. So they wrote this song making fun of Boston and how dirty the Boston Harbor was. And it still is. You know what we fucking did? We embraced it. It's part of our is lexicon, is that the word? It's part of our culture. It is part of our being, and we embrace it. Because we do love that dirty water, you know? Clico Joe says that's a great song. Yes, it is. We breathe in water for clouds and we'll bathe in it, right? Yes. That's who it is, Clico Joe. Thank you, the Stendhals. I've been singing it my entire life. I couldn't remember who made it. Red Sox anthem. Don't forget Sweet Caroline. I'm sure there are plenty of bodies of those. Oh, I should put this back on. Mess with someone else needlessly. Come on over. I'll bring you over to the Bulger burial ground under the bridge. It's funny. Everyone knew it was happening. The FBI didn't. Well, John Connolly did, but we won't talk about him. Fuck, we won't even talk about fucking Whitey. I hate calling him Whitey, too, but everyone knows who Whitey is, you know? No one knows who James is. James Bulger, Jimmy. I don't know. Oh, it is what it is. Whitey Bulger, yeah. What a sad story. We thought he was like the fucking Robin Hood. Turns out he was robbing his hood. Robbing his hood of people, money, poisoning people with drugs. Tell the whole world, Wolf. Yeah. Fucking guy didn't turn out to be any Robin Hood. At the end of the day, you know what? Black Mass. It's, okay, I'm going to say this. It's a good movie, okay? If you just want to watch a movie, it's a good movie. Yeah, it was a good movie. We'll just leave it at that. Black Mass. And you know, Johnny Depp did a really good job looking like him. Sounding like him, he did all right. But looking like him, it's amazing what they did. It's pretty cool. Johnny Depp did pretty good in that role. Although, I think it was kind of silly when they tried to do the Depp captured Bulger pretty well, though. You know, he did. But, you know, they took there's this thing that everyone calls the Goodfellas scene. And I'm not talking about the one long track. I'm talking about Joe Pesci. I'm a funny guy. How? How am I funny? I'm here to fucking amuse you. And that's an infamous scene. That comes from something he experienced in real life. I don't know if you know this, but Joe Pesci, he wasn't he wasn't made and he wasn't an associate or anything like that. He certainly wasn't capo. But he was around that a lot. We'll just say that. And what the fuck is this? Is this a former mob guy fucking confessions? I hate it when they have those video channels. Like fucking Mikey Franchise. Get the fuck off YouTube, dude. Come on. I mean, I guess you gotta make money somehow, but the Goodfellas scene, you know, I'm funny how. That was a great scene. It built tension and all that stuff. And they tried to do that with the whole steak thing. Oh, you gave me up the recipe just like that. What else will you give up? Stop. We don't need that. We just need to see Whitey fucking shooting people in parking lots. Going to get a beer and a what was the name of that fucking? There was a donut joint down there by Big O's or Triple O's. I used to go there all the time. Great fight. The donuts were huge. You see why I'm the way I am today. Go get your fucking shine box. Right? 3 stars if you want to see a TV series. Watch Deadwood. Alright, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV, but I'll give it a try. Evening, Chris, Ross says. What's up, Ross? How you doing, my friend? Feels like long time no talk. Long time no talk. I only got 2 more bites. And then I'll stop. Wow, 13 people in here. Wow. Maybe I should have played a game. But yeah, Black Mass was a decent movie. It went, you know what? You know what bugged me about Black Mass? And I think it's the same thing that bugged people about the Knights of Newark or whatever that was. The Sopranos movie that just came out. They built it up like it was a Bulger movie, but it turned out to be more of a Connolly movie. Kind of like with that, what do you call it there? The movie I just mentioned there. What was it called? The Many Saints of Newark. It was built up to be a Tony Soprano young kid story, but it was really about Christopher Moltisante's father. I can never remember his name. Moltisante. And that was the part of Black Mass that really bugged me. I mean, yeah, Whitey was in it, but it was billed to be a Whitey story, or at least shown to be. And turned out to be more of a fucking Connolly story than anything. And I don't like that guy anyhow. So 6-day work week, kill me. Oh my god, dude. You do extended some work like broken back and stuff? Westworld is excellent even. Okay. Deadwood is now on physical media. Cool, cool, cool. Many Saints of Newark sucked. You know what? I don't know. Richie, that's right. That's his name. Richie, if she knows. Dickie. Okay, you got it. You got it. Dance, dance, dance. Alex, I really appreciate the super chat, but I don't know. I'm not dancing. I'm not dancing. I'll let these fucks take clips of me saying that I'll kill you and whatever, but I ain't letting them take no clips of me. You know? There you go. There's my dance. I'm not wearing pants right now. I'm not standing up. We avoided Deadwood for years. I heard it was blah, blah, blah. Then they made a movie later. It hasn't crossed my path. Right on, man. Yeah, nobody liked the Saints of Newark. The many Saints of Newark. I'm not going to say it was great or anything, but I liked it. I wouldn't go back to it. It's not one of those kind of movies. And I hope it actually leads into a new series of Tony growing up. I really do. And I think that's what they were trying to do with it. I think they were trying to spark a new Sopranos series. And in this case, showing Tony getting his bones, you know? You gave me a flashback for Numa guy. Numa guy. Not recalling it. No compute. I see the Jerky Boys making a comeback. Are they really? Dude, let me tell you about the Jerky Boys. Before they blew up. Yeah, this is going to be one of those I liked them before they were cool kind of stories. My brothers are much older than I am. And they're the reasons I got into corrections. My brother was working for the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department. That's kind of where I started my career. And the Jerky Boys tapes, before they became mainstream, were like demo tapes for bands. They would just be passed around. And I remember, for some reason, the prison system was getting them. And I remember hearing all these ones, and when they actually got published, half the really funny ones weren't on there because they were a little more risque. But I remember I had just had my tonsils out. They made me get my tonsils out in 9th grade. It was fucking hell. And I remember my brother playing it at his house, and I was laughing my ass off, and one of my stitches, fucking, or whatever, ripped. Bleeding all over the place. So I started acting like I was a demon. I was like, ah. My mom's like, we gotta get him to the hospital. I'm fucking spitting blood all over my brother's apartment. It sucked because they did have to go in there and cauterize it, and that hurt. That made it hurt more. They're posting live video clips from Facebook. You know what? It's about time. I really thought they would have actually done that sooner. Seriously. I love that shit. That's great. Oh, when people prank those scam calls. I have one scam call video on my channel. It was just one of those things where I normally do that. You know what I mean? I'll sit, if I have time, I'll sit on the phone with them. Today I had one that some guy was trying to sell me solar. And I told him we don't have any sun where I live. He's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry to have disturbed you. I said, yeah, we only have daughters. Bye. And he was like, oh, okay. Fucking idiot. First day in the job. Your favorite beans got me sick as a dog. What? You're going to have to refresh my memory on where that's from. I vaguely recognize it. Oh, yes, yeah, we're still talking about Jerky Boys. Light shined on Marblehead. There we go. Yes. How about the chicken one? How about, can I just bring it to you like your little chicken lab and they can look in the vomit? Oh, man. Pranks are funny. Yeah. I remember the tapes being passed around. If you were part of an illegal ring, I know. It was like this. It was the same thing with the South Park guys. Before they actually became South Park, there was this video floating around called the True Value or the True Spirit of Christmas, and it basically was just Santa Claus and Jesus Christ fighting each other. It was the greatest thing ever, and Santa's sitting on his little thing with the kids. And Jesus shows up and he goes, so we meet again, there can be only one. He stands up, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. But that was the same situation. It was just a VHS tape that just kept floating around. I got it from a guy who sold me a car. I was at the dealership, and the guy's like, oh, you like South Park? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I got this tape. And everyone had this elaborate story of how they got the tape. I went to school with them in Colorado. The fuck out of here. You got the tape because it's swinging around, you dummy. You're no more special than I am. Get out of here. Calm down, Mike. Saul Rosenberg. I'll bring all my shoes and all my glasses so I have them. Saul was my favorite. No. You know who my favorite was? Hold on. When the gay couple called the sports place, and actually two of them, and he was like, do you guys repair tennis ball machines? And the guy's like, no. He goes, oh, god damn. Well, I know this is going to sound crazy, but like Elon and I, we like to boil potatoes and dip them in Vaseline and fire them at each other. And Elon bent over to see it was lined up with his ass, and he got a potato right in the fucking eyes. This thing's too powerful. And then the other one is like, if I came down there, could one of your employees put on a pair of cleats and step on my balls and kick me around the fucking store? Oh my god, man. I miss those days when people weren't fucking offended. I'll bring my toolbox, you fucking jerky. I heard you're looking for a salesman. I sell. You know, like last week I had this guy. He's looking at this car. He doesn't know if he's going to buy. I said, look, you motherfucker. I grabbed his head. I smacked it against the hood and said, you're going to buy this fucking car. I'm going to break your fucking head. Whoa, I don't run that kind of operation. Hey, we're off to a bad start, I guess. Oh, I could quote them all. Hey there, rubberneck. Actually, I used a Jerky Boy reference while watching the Evercade podcast this morning on Richard's and OEBP's little deal that they do for the Evercade this morning. I came in, and instead of saying, hi guys, I just wrote Sandy Nipple Chops. Do you remember that one? And the dude called this lady. It's like, oh, your son likes to smack my nipples, my Sandy Nipple Chops. He hurts me so bad. Baby Pac-Man Homebrew physical cartridge on the 7800 is now available on Atari Age. Yeah, big friggin' hands to hold my hot dogs. That brings back memories. Hey, jerky, yeah. Sizzle chest. Oh my god, sizzle chest. They had the funniest shit, man. I might try to dig out my old cassettes. I just got a fucking Walkman, brand new. This is actually for something. When my mom died, I found a whole bunch of cassettes of my dad's sermons. He used to record them all. I haven't heard my dad's voice in God since 2000. Well, he died in 2006, and I was in Arizona, and hadn't really talked to him for a couple of decades, probably easily. But that's what this is for. I was just gonna play some of my dad's stuff. I thought about doing it in a video on my vlog channel, the Creepy Crawl. And calling it, hearing my dad's voice for the first time in years. But I got like 5 or 6 of his, actually more than that. I got a whole bunch of his sermons on cassette. I hope that the magnetic tape didn't fuse together. I hope it didn't fuse together. No Swear Gamer, what's up, buddy? Just jumping in for a second. Did you get the video games monthly box? Not yet, man. Not yet. They most certainly took their bucket money. Excuse my mouth. But no, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm dying to see what happens. I'm dying to see, and I'll explain to the rest of you if you don't know. I'm playing a little bit of a challenge to them, not them knowing, obviously, because I'm not in contact with them, but they call me Big Hawk. Fruit at 55. Fruity 55. It sells. You laugh, but it sells. Oh, no. This is my favorite. I beat a monkey on a... No, because I put a monkey in a ballerina suit and I beat him to an oblivion with a stick. But for my grand finale, I poured kerosene all over myself and I set myself on fire. And the guy's like, whoa. The lady's like, what? He's like, look, The crowd seems to love it, and I'm only burnt about the face, chest, neck, breast, and head, but a little cover-up conceals it all. And this girl's like, this guy says he puts pianos up his ass or monkeys up, I don't know, something like that. But no, so here's the deal with Video Games Monthly. Wow, I'm doing a whole bunch of new stuff. I'm adding a join button, Video Games Monthly, and we'll get back to the membership thing for anyone who needs to be brought up to speed on that too, because I'm not asking people for memberships, but there are certain activities I want to do, but I don't want to do, small groups because I can't handle too much. But so there's really not much in Video Games Monthly that I would collect. I got rid of a lot of my stuff. I emulate a lot of it now because it's just more convenient for me. I have all my Atari stuff still. I'm surmassing a collection of Intellivision. ColecoVision, I still have a bunch of games. They're somewhere up in the attic because my machine died. And I couldn't seem to get it to work. So I just I gave the case to someone who needed it. He had a fucked up looking Coleco. S-Mill, what's up? He had a fucked up looking Coleco. So my case works, but the machine didn't. And his machine didn't work. So, I just gave him it for the case or whatever. So there's really nothing on there that I would collect, and I saw that they had both 2600 and Intellivision. So I put in everything I had, which luckily there was a button for everything. Sometimes that doesn't happen, especially with like the Atari, there's so many games. And I have pretty much everything that's common, with the exception of stupid things like, say a Checkers or something like that. I honestly don't remember if I had Checkers or not, but you get what I'm saying. The dumb ones that you'll never play. And, the Intellivision, I have like 30-something games. And I said, I'm going to get the 3-game tier box. What was it, 35, 38, whatever it is. It was $43 after everything. And I want to see if they can live up to the cost, because I believe that's their shtick, right? They say will equal or better the cost of the box with the cost of the games, the general market value of them anyhow. So I'm curious if they can actually do that with some of these games. Now, I know Atari games are a little bit more expensive than they used to be. Not by much. Like say Empire Strikes Back used to be a $5 game all day long. Now it's somewhere between 10 and 20, depending on who you're talking to. But I'm curious as to what they would do. If they would just say, fuck it, we can't come up with it. Here's 3 games. Good luck, kid. And I'll end up with $12 worth of games for $35. Or if they would just continue to add games. Or if they would give me something like Hero. I don't have Hero right now. Or Beam Rider. Would they toss one of those in there? So I'm only going to do it for a month or two unless it seems like it's going to work out for me. I'm just curious as to where they would go with it and how they would proceed with me only doing Atari 2600 and Intellivision. So I'm excited. I know a few of my friends here are excited to see how that goes. I'm not expecting much, to be perfectly honest with you. So if I get kind of duped in it, I'm expecting it. I'm kind of going into it knowing that's probably going to happen. But I don't know. They could surprise me. Who knows? And maybe they will start adding stuff like Coleco. If they put links on there, you bet your ass I'm going to do that. I only have like 5 or 6 links game. And my Atari Lynx itself has a bad screen, as usual. It's like lines and stuff. And I want to do that mod, but I just don't have the $100 right now. Nor do I have the time or the desire to. I'd rather just spend the $100 and have someone do it for me. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. All right, let me catch up on a few of these comments here. You guys are typing, and I got to show you respect for that. Let's see. AOR Rock and Metal Memories. Hope Video Games Monthly hasn't cut and run. I don't think they would. They're a pretty stand-up group, but I appreciate the concern. I really do. Would you like to buy 2 ColecoVisions? No. No, I don't have room for 2. I mean, maybe we could talk about one of them. They don't promise to meet the cost, but it would be bad business not to come close. Okay. All right. Well, I've been watching people's unboxings for however long it's been happening, and they always, like you, put the title, the cost there, and I guess it's just a common thing that happens. I thought that was because that's part of their deal. I don't know. Would you like to buy 3 2600s? I have plenty. Believe me, there's a heavy 6er right there that you can't see. I got No joke. I got a Vader right here. I have a Junior. I have a Junior that has a 32-in-1 cart built into it from Australia, which I need to repair. It needs a new controller port. One pin broke, so nothing will go left. I have a Sagari 2600. I have a 4-switch Woody. I got tons of Atari. I got the Retron 77. Fucking Atari, man. It's littering my house. I used to have a lot of Atari. Would you like to buy 3 African zebras? Yeah. Yes. Bet your ass I would. I played for the Bayside Raiders. 245 pounds. I can run through walls. Did you really play for the Bayside Raiders? Who's the Bayside Raiders? I just saw Raiders and we're like, did you really? I used to work with a guy who played for Denver. His name was Boyer. I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Boyer. He was a really nice guy. It was when I was working juvenile corrections. And he got hired through the Arizona Department of Juvenile Corrections to work as your regular, youth corrections officer or whatever. But he worked in the housing units where I didn't. And he was doing it to gain experience because he wanted to open up a home for at-risk teens from his where he grew up. And I always thought that was rad. He was the nicest guy in the world too. He used to bring in like fucking sports memorabilia. I think he had a Super Bowl ring. I remember him bringing his giant ring in. I don't know what it was, but would you like to buy small African zebras? Yes, I would. I seem to be addicted to buying ColecoVision homebrews. That's not a bad addiction to have. It's better than spiking up. At least you can get your return on that if you ever had to. I got my box, but they gave me a game I already put on the list. So I am waiting for a replacement game before I post my video. Right on, man. That's cool. Now, are they making you send back the other game? How does that work? Homebrew games are the best. I love homebrew games. Not this past Halloween, but the Halloween before. I did nothing but Atari 2600 homebrew / ROM hacks. And my favorite was one for Keystone Capers. It was labeled Halloween 2. And they didn't just do an overlay. I mean, Keystone Harry, or whatever the fuck his name is, they actually switched the sprite to Pitfall Harry. I'm sorry. Keystone Kelly was Pitfall Harry, but with an overcoat, so it was actually Dr. Loomis. They did a really good job. Whoever did that one, I forget. But it's called Halloween 2. And it's a ROM hack of Keystone Capers. Awesome. 5 Atari flashbacks, 3 Atari flashback portables. Oh, I get the portable. I get the wood grain portable, and I have the first year portable, but it's broken. The screen got damaged. My Atari Junior faded fast in the launch year. Must have been a bad day on production line. Oh, that's too bad, man. It might have lasted 2 months. That's horrible. I hope you're able to return it or whatever then. I probably have 6 copies of Combat, maybe more. If you don't, you're not collecting properly, are you? Same with Pac-Man. Nope, I can keep the game. It's a Japanese Game Boy game. Worth a whole $1. Oh boy! That's funny. I have 2 Game Boy games. I have a Japanese one that Willie sent me, that I'm just remembering now. And I have Dr. Franken as part of my Frankenstein collection. Frankenstein's monster. Speaking of which, I'm working on a Frankenstein monster skull right now. This is a little bit of primer on it so I can see where the bad stuff is. This is going to be a display piece for the Etsy shop. I'm actually going to cast this, though. I'm going to cast this and make a whole bunch of them. And then make a bunch of like little medical displays. It's going to be like in a little glass bubble thing, or what do you call those? The little dome things. It almost looks like there should be a clock in there. It's going to be pretty cool, I hope, anyway. Loomis was the only person Mikey could never kill. Yeah. Hill's Department Store, greatest return ever. If you bought it, what? If you bought it at Sears? Wait a minute, am I reading that right? Hill's Department Store was great with returns, even if you bought it at Sears. I did read that correctly. Okay. I didn't know. We don't have hills up here, or had. I don't know if they're still around or not, but I don't recall hills at all. So I believe what is that down in the Pittsburgh area? I mean, I'm not trying to call you out if you don't want to answer that question, but I seem to remember what's his name, that Paul guy. I don't watch him anymore. He's Crazy Paul or Wacky Paul. I forget what he's called. He does all those really fun songs. Actually, I found him because he said, "Don't something my Atari." What was that song? "Don't break my Atari" or something like. "You'll be sorry if you break my Atari." But either way, I seem to remember him talking about Hills Department. He's down in there. Frankie's looking good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Remember when Denny's made up an app called the Denny's Atari Remix? I do. And you know what? I had a friend that worked at Denny's at the time, so I got a bunch of the promotional stuff. You know, like the table tents and a stack of the placemats. And I used to have all that. It was pretty cool. Just random stupidness, you know. We had Apex. We had Sears, which my childhood Sears just closed like less than a year ago. We had Zayre's, Caldor. There's a Target now where the Caldor is. God, there was a couple other ones. I think Filing's Basement's still around. Of course, we still have Marshall's. Yeah, I don't remember. We had a whole bunch. Gotta run. Have a good chat. If you're up later, 11 o'clock, I might stream 50-50. Okay, bud. I'll catch you later. No Swam Gamer is awesome, folks. If you're not following him, I say this all the time. He's the greatest resource on the internet. He's amazing. If there's a game that you want to learn about, as long as he's played it, obviously, and he's probably has, he knows it. Ann and Hope, yes. We used to go to the Ann and Hope that was up by the Liberty Tree Mall in Peabody. Richie's. I don't remember Richie's. There was an Ann and Hope outlet across from where I lived in Cumberland, Rhode Island for a few years. The girl I had my first son with in high school, her family was from Cumberland, Rhode Island. She was actually living here with her aunt. And we moved down that way for a while. And it lived right across the street from this Ann and Hope huge outlet. It was like 3 or 4 floors. Looked like an old mill building. Ann and Hope. My mom loved Ann and Hope. She loved Sears too. But there's one more. I can't think of Bradley's. That's the other one. Benny's? No, I don't think we had those. And if we did, I don't recall them. I was poor living on farms. Not a lot of game stores around. Well, these aren't necessarily game stores. These are just department stores. Basically Targets of the day and Walmarts of the day. But classier and cooler. Like Caldor. It's funny. I know a lot of you won't know what a Purity Supreme is either. It was a grocery store chain. In the same parking lot, there used to be a Caldor and a Purity Supreme. And now, well, the left one used to be an Ocean State job lot where Purity Supreme was. And now it's empty. And the other side's a Target. But you can still see both stores. You know what I mean? Even after all these years, you can still see those stores. They had a very distinct Child World, too. Bed Bath & Beyond moved in there. I think they're gone now, too. But it still looks like a castle, the building. It's pretty cool. I miss it. Child World on Route 1 in Saugus. Did you know that Atari made a hat that looks like a Woody Atari 2600? No, I did not know that. And now my life is incomplete. Ames! Yes, I remember Ames. Okay. I don't think we did much with Ames growing up. Well, at least I didn't. But, you need to do a stream playing Beatster on the Oculus 2? I don't have an Oculus 1, 2, or 11-teen. I don't oculi. I don't like to oculi in front of people. It's so embarrassing. Oculi. I still don't have much in the way of stores. Small town. Do not have department stores. If lucky, we might have a small store that covers everything a little bit. That's awesome, dude. I could totally go back to that. Just your general store. Just what you need. A couple of little extras. Again, that's another reason why I got rid of most of my stuff. Space. I probably need the money at the time. And to live a little more simple. If we allow it, we can actually become slaves to our stuff. You know? There we go. There's a word that people are going to try to fucking twist up again. I do. I remember Purity Supreme. Well, I would assume you would. I want the Hot Wheels Atari line. At least the van. I know. I want the 2600 van also. I had plenty of chances to buy all of them. And I never did because I'm not a Hot Wheels guy. Not a Hot Wheels guy. So I pass on it. I'm not the type of guy that will buy anything just because it's... Like, I used to go game hunting all the time with a few buddies of mine in Arizona. And if it was a video game, they bought it. It didn't matter what it was or what it was for or when it came out. It was a video game. We found it at the thrift store. I'm going to buy it. I never, ever collected that way. I can't tell you how many times I went to a Savers that was local. $3.99 every cartridge. And at the time I'm speaking about now, they had a whole bunch of N64 carts. And there was a couple of the Mario parties, Mario Kart, and there was one other. And they were all $3.99. And I left a handful. I just got the ones I needed. And left the rest of them. Everyone in this group that I can't still say the name of, because it's still a private group. They were like, what the fuck? Why didn't you grab them all? I'm like, because I didn't need them. They're like, but we could have. I'm like, oh yeah. My bad. So I started actually collecting that way too to help other people out. But, oh man, I keep yawning. I'm sorry, guys. I hear ya. I do want that for my life now. As a child, I did not. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. In the 80s, we had Shalalatos. I'm just kidding. Would have carried Amico. They were renamed Lazarus. Really? That's an interesting name for a store. When they expanded outside of Ohio region. Okay. You need to stream Yars Returns, Atari 2600. You're really a homebrew guy, Alan. I think that's the only thing you've ever talked about in the stream. Here's a homebrew. Check this one out. Yars Returns. I've played it a few times. On flashbacks. It's the Yars Revenge with the box, right? I don't like it as much. I mean, obviously, because I'm used to the original, but did I ever tell you guys about the pickup truck that the house next door is owned by some dude who lives in another town? And he's got this Ford F-150, and the plate says Yar. And I had an opportunity to ask him the other day. I could have stopped, rolled down my window, and said, hey, what's up with your license plate? But I've always wanted to ask him. But he's an old dude. I mean, he very well could be an Atari fan. But I'm pretty sure when Atari came out, he was probably in his 30s, maybe early 40s. He's an old man. But one of these days, maybe I'll get down to it and figure it out. You need to stream. Okay, we already saw it. I remember buying used games from Blockbuster. My kids don't even know about rental stores. Yeah. I hardly ever used Blockbuster. As a matter of fact, I didn't get my first Blockbuster card until about a year or two before they started closing everything down. We had one here called Movies on Video, and that was good enough for me. And then there was what was the other chain? Hollywood Videos? Hollywood Studio Video? I don't know. But when I moved to Arizona, they were the ones I used to go to. And then eventually Blockbuster took everything over. Oh, Jesus. And, yeah. I got a card, and then a few years later, they were all gone. All of them. You still play your Woody Atari 2600 Flashback Portable. I do. Not as often. I used to bring it everywhere with me. If I have a doctor's appointment, it comes with me. We went to Disney's last July. It came with me. For the flights, anyway. So I use it like that. I don't use it as an actual console. Like, I can't sit here and just play the fucking thing. Please excuse me. I had to keep an eye. The ladies are at an orchestra concert. So, they're going to need me to go pick them up. We're using one car right now. My fucking Suburban's not acting. It's not acting accordingly, so I need to do a couple of errands while they were there. And I'm going to go pick them up if I don't fucking go to bed soon. But yeah, I still use it. Maybe a Yes fan. Yar is no disgrace. Oh. I don't know that much about Yes, so I know a couple of songs, and I apologize, but Adventure was a great 2600 game. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I don't play it that often. It was never my thing. It was. I get its significance and everything, but I never got into it. I never got into it. I was an arcade kind of guy, so simple pick up and play. And that's why I like the Amico. It seems like that type of thing, Adventure was awesome, though. I remember my friends playing it all the time. Meanwhile, I would be playing Yars' Revenge. My buddy, this kid Gerald I grew up with, he had a couple of Ataris. So it was like his brother could be over there on the Coleco and the Atari. We'd be over here on the other Atari playing Kaboom or whatever. Adventure and Haunted House was a great pair. It's funny. As soon as someone said Adventure, Haunted House came to my mind. I played that a lot, but I think that's more because I like that whole Haunted House vibe thing, What do we got here? Automobiles? Do you have a what? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to assume that's a funny way of saying fucked up car. No, I think the top end on my engine needs, I think I need valve. I think I need valve work. I thought the 2600 game Deadly Ducks was an adventure spin-off. That's fucking funny. That's funny. Televis John. Amico in Boston, middle of November. TT said on Slope's YouTube interview. I know. Thanks for the heads up. I do appreciate it. I wasn't trying to be smug there. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it going, wow, I look like a fucking douchebag. I am, but no, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I know. Of course he told. I forget what video it was. I was just like, you guys need to come to Boston now. What the fuck? It's your home city. And then he made an announcement that Boston was the next stop. And then, the information kept rolling downhill. So, yeah, it's gonna be here. It's gonna be here in another week or so, give or take. Is money five? Oh, it's a $500,000 automobile. No, I got a '99 GMC Suburban. I don't think there's a 500,000 anything in that thing. It's a great truck though. The thing's gorgeous. It's in fucking killer condition. That's why I keep it around. That's why I don't fucking buy anything new. Everyone's like, why don't you get yourself something new? I don't want to. Why have a payment? I mean, I guess now it's kind of ironic that the truck's not feeling its best, but it is what. I think it has 280,000 miles on it, and it's still going. AC still works. The heat still works. Everything still works, except for the heated seat on the driver's side. That doesn't work for some reason. I don't know. But I don't care. I never used it. I don't need my ass getting tickled by warmth because that'll loosen the bowels, and I'll have what they call, I learned about it through Mr. Plinkett. Something fecal evacuation. Sporadic or something like that. I don't know. You got rims on that thing sitting proper. If by whatever came from the factory is sitting proper. Yeah. No, I haven't blinged out my truck yet. I want to dunk it and box it and murder it out. No, I haven't done anything fancy with it. I wanted to. What I want to do is I want to panel off that back long window and give it kind of a hearse vibe. You know what I mean? It's kind of a gold color now, like every other fucking GMC from the 90s. It's a gold color. I don't know if I would drop it at all, though. I don't know. I don't want to drop it. No, but I would like to put some nice rims, mean-looking rims, not flashy, not classy, but something that's you look at it and you go, "Fuck, that truck is tough." And then do a satin black, not flat, satin black throughout the whole thing. But I want the back long side windows gone. I I might do that. I might just pull out the old fucking buzz box and just tack in a piece of metal and then break the window out or something like that. And then use Bondo to clean it up. I don't know. Let's see. Flat black stealth bomber paint job. Yes! See? I wasn't even reading that before. Yeah, dude. Maybe smoke out the mirrors, the windows. Do you have the Atari 2600 joystick plug-and-play keychain? You can play on your TV. I do not. I do not have. No. No, you know what? I don't buy those little things anyway. Those are not for me at all. And I couldn't even, I wouldn't even want to do that as a fun video, to be honest with you. That would frustrate me to no end. But I know what you're talking about, and I've seen it. And I took one look at that and said, no. No, thank you. I got the paddle one. Video game Poco says. I had to fix it. Fix it. I'm surprised you even bothered. So, speaking of things that don't work, I don't know if you remember. I have it here somewhere. In my pile of projects. There it is. In my pile of projects. I don't know if you remember this little arcade thing I got at Five Below. I bought it for a fun review. All right. So Five Below had this handheld one. And surprisingly, it was fun. The girls keep it in the restroom. I swear to God. And they use it when they're doing whatever they're doing if they don't feel like using their phones or their phone's on charge, right? So I figured this thing would be cool too. So I bought the fucking thing, brought it home. It didn't work. So I went back with the receipt and said, hey, this isn't working. Can I grab another one as petty as that sounds? And I got another one, and this one didn't work either. So I'm going to make it into a creature. But No Swear Gamer, who was in here earlier, bought one and did a video, and it worked just fine. So recently he sent me a little box with a couple of fun things. And I do have it. So we'll see if that one works for me. Three strikes might be out. I might smash this one if it doesn't work. And I'll do that on camera, of course. But what reminded me of it was the little things that you were saying. I normally don't get down with things like this, but I figured it was only $5. The handheld one was pretty fun, as cheap as it was, in feel, both feel and cost. It was actually really fun. It had a couple of games that I wouldn't mind playing, like legit. Let's see. I gotta go. The bedtime routine for the children must begin. All right, man. You have a good evening, Electronics Emotions Program. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Let's see. Alan says, what are your thoughts on the Blaze Atari 2600 Portable? It is the most viewed video on my channel. That's my thoughts. When they first announced it, I thought it looked pretty. I remember seeing a rendering of something that looked just like it. Even years before that came out. And then they announced it was going to come out, and I made the video. It looked pretty, but I think it was the lack of the SD card that kept me from wanting to get one or importing one, because at the time you couldn't get one in the States. Or if you did, it cost you a grip and it wasn't worth it to me. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool unit if you don't have the At-Games Flashback Portable. It's definitely a more aesthetically pleasing unit. And I believe they actually added, did they not add that SD card feature to it? Or at least you can use a USB or something like that to get into it. I don't remember either way, but I think it's a nice looking unit, but it just wasn't for me. At least the iteration that was out then. But it's a gorgeous looking unit. I wouldn't mind having one just behind me, but I'm not going to go after it. Ordo Necro, what's up, brother? What do you say, my man? They've got the Blaze 2600 Portable that also has 7800 games on it. Small screen, though. See, and that's why I don't like portables. I don't use portables that often. That's why I don't use my Flashback Portable too often anymore. And little fucking screens, you know? We look at little screens all day long. I want to come home and do it. Little screens. I hate it. Question from the last chat. If you were introduced a newbie to the Atari, what's the first game you'd have them play? Ooh, was that a question that was asked? I missed it. I apologize. Ooh, that's a tough one. I often tell the story about the guy who worked at the gaming zone in Tempe, Arizona. Great place, by the way. If you're in Arizona, seek them out. Really fun place. It's more than just a game store. They have a lounge in the back. It's awesome. And he used to make fun of Atari all the time. He was like Super Nintendo and newer. And I brought it in to that lounge area because we were doing a retro night. And we were all setting up. And of course, I brought the Atari. And he played Spider Fighter and just didn't let go of the joystick for like 2 hours. So that makes me want to say Spider Fighter. But it probably wouldn't be that. It would probably be something a little bit more Atari classic, you know? That's a very good question. What game would I have them play first? Space Invaders. Space Invaders. It's the greatest port of Space Invaders that ever were made. And I just said that. I would take that cartridge over a fucking arcade cabinet any day. Well, no, if someone wants to give me the arcade cab. I meant if there was an Atari 2600 next to the arcade cab and I could play Space Invaders on either one, I would go right to the Atari 2600. All right, Oral says, it was at the tail end of the last chat, no worries. Okay, man. Was it you that asked or somebody else? I have a Woody Atari 2600 modded with AV ports. That's great, man. My Cigari has AV ports in it. Actually, my Cigari technically isn't an Atari 2600. It's a Flashback 2. And I don't know if you know this, but you can actually add a cartridge port to it. So that's what it was. It was a Flashback 2 that was modded with a cartridge port and put into a cigar box. A real wooden one, you know. Pitfall. Yeah, Pitfall's another great one. I tell this story all the time, too. I kind of associate Pitfall more with in television than I do Atari. Maybe because Pitfall Harry looks like the Running Man. But I think it's more so not only that. I played it first on the television. I didn't play it on the Atari until probably a good year or so after I was introduced to it on the Intellivision. So it always seemed like an Intellivision game ported out to other, you know. I know that wasn't the case, but... Oh, is that the ladies? Nope. Let's see. Rock Metal Memory says, I like Invisible Vader setting. Yeah, see, and that's why I like it. Yeah, that's why I like that cartridge so much, too. There are so many ways to Space Invader. It's not even funny. But Invisible Vaders is so fun. You would think it would be frustrating. But it really is fun. And it's super gratifying. Super gratifying when you clear a stage. I mean, just playing regular Space Invaders is tough to clear a stage. They made that game unnecessarily hard. But yeah, Invisible Vaders, fucking amazing. Super amazing. I've never owned a copy of Pepsi Invaders by Coke. I've always wanted one of those. Never had one. Invisible Vaders, yep. That was great how in the early days Atari games had so many. Right. And you know, that was kind of, and you got to remember that the whole cartridge-based system thing was fairly new at the time. And no one truly really knew where to go with it, you know. The idea of it was ludicrous at the time. I mean, everyone was used to dedicated consoles. CX380 being the greatest of all time. Look that one up. The wood grain, not the cream or the Sears version. So that's what people were used to, and then you start adding cartridges, and companies are like, wait a minute, so there's nothing in the machine? You got to buy this little thing? No one's going to want to do that. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So the whole idea of what the cartridges were and all that, you really had to make it worth the money. Because people were like, I got to buy a machine that doesn't do anything until I buy a thing to put into it, you know? You got to remember it in that mindset. So they had to pack as much value in these games as they could. At least that's my interpretation of it all. I don't know if that's fact or not. I've never heard anyone say it, but it would make sense that they would do something like that. My first cartridge was Target Fun Telegames 27, which was Air Sea Battle. And that had a fuck ton of variations too. It was like a different... It's weird because Atari came with Combat, which was the same idea, It was shooting things for 2 players, and it was multiple games. And then the Sears one decided to do ARC battle instead, and called it Target Fun or something like that. Great game too, by the way. My friends would always laugh at me when I pulled it out, but I liked it. It was so much fun. Richie Knuckles made an Activision Kaboom arcade machine with an Atari 2600. I've seen that. It was quite a few years back, though, right? At least 5 or 6, maybe. But I have seen that, and it is sexy. And someday I wish I could get my grubby mitts on it, just so I can at least try it once. Just once. That's all I need. You know what I want to build an arcade machine that does nothing but spinner games, but it's going to be based off of the Pong Barrel Arcade. I don't know if you guys know what that is. My buddy BTB, who runs a channel, I think it's called BTB Studios or whatever, but you'd have to search the Jaguar or 7800 Avenue or what's the other one that he does? There's 7800 Avenue, the Jaguar, Lynx Lounge. Those are his 3 shows. Classiest stuff on the internet. But he built one. There's a rare Pong arcade with the name Syzygy still on it. If you don't know what Syzygy is, look that up. Excuse me one second. And it was like a wooden beer keg with a TV in it and this really cool leather tuck box. It was as 70s as it gets, and it played Pong. Well, he built one of those. I want to build a tabletop version of a barrel about this big and just put nothing but spinner games on it. That would be fucking rad. Get like a legit spinner, you know? But he did the full-size one, and it looks beautiful. If you have an Android phone or a tablet, you can download River Raid 2600 for free. That's cool. You know what? And it's funny that you said that because I almost played River Raid for the Intellivision tonight. Almost played it for the Intellivision tonight, and I said I'm not in the mood to play a game. Let's just do the chat thing, you know. I'm actually on here because I needed a mental break from something. So you guys are actually helping me out more than you actually know. So I had a conversation with somebody today. Something had happened. Something had happened, and it upset me. Not like I didn't get mad. It was like more of a, oh, dude, really? Why? Why would you do that? I thought, you know. So rather than pop off and make 100 fucking videos and all this shit, get this. I had a conversation with them. I know. Don't freak out. But I messaged the individual and was like, hey, you know, you shared this and, you know, I know we were talking about it, but it kind of bugged me that things went down that way. And I would have thought that you would have thought better, you know, all this stuff. And then he came back and says, hey, I had to do the things for these reasons and all that stuff. Please don't think that I had, you know, whatever. It was a conversation that had no emotion behind it. It was, hey, I noticed something and I would like to inquire about it. And the person saying, oh, I would love to inquire about that. Here is my response to your query. And we went back and forth a few times and it got cleared up. Now, I'm not going to bring up any current situations that have transpired because mainly I was doing it to poke the bear and I pretty much kind of progressed it on purpose. And maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I should have. But it all started because someone assumed I called them a bitch. And they lost their mind and went on this long tangent about racism and whatever. Had it just been a conversation, I'm sure it would have been missed. But these people thrive for that. And they're like bottom feeders, you know? So, conversations, man. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Come on, you know the thing, man. Get your face out of your ears. Auto Necro says, I wish an Atari console would get an analog treatment. An FPGA console that plays multiple carts. Huh. Interesting. You got a couple of different things there that have perked my ears. They used to have the multiple cart adapter for the Atari 2600. There was a couple of companies that made them. And even better so, a Magic, not to be underdone, made this big contraption with an Atari built in with their branding all over it. That was all one big unit. And when I was in Arizona, there was a cat out in California, and I could not remember who it was. And if you're in here, please speak up. And we were supposed to meet up for me to look at it and maybe even buy it. If the seller was like, yeah, I'll sell it to you. It was one of those things that we wanted on your Atari show. Because back then I actually did a lot more Atari stuff. I never got a chance to see the thing. But having something that's FPGA for a modern setup, that you just pop a bunch of carts in, just in a menu, fucking be like, I want to play this game. You got the idea right there, my friend. Ordo Necro, you just made somebody rich. I'm bad for your health. I'll clog your veins. Dude, no, that fucking sandwich I ate earlier is clogging my veins. But I love it. I love it. I love it. Big Unit was my nickname in college. I remember. It's kind of like when you call this guy tiny and 6'8", 305 pounds. I'm just kidding, Czar. What's up, brother? What is going on, my friend? Thanks for popping in. Oh, we're down to 8 people. That's okay. It's the 8 important people. So, to recap for anyone who's filtered through, I wanted to introduce you to my channel's memberships, not ask you to join. It's really only there for one reason. I actually had it ready to go for a long time and then decided to make it live this past couple of days. Hey, buddy, just finished Solid Film? Just finished. Solid Film. What? Oh, okay. Okay, now it makes sense. I think. But I'm doing it because I want to do activities with you guys. I want to do more than just this and playing games and stuff. I think we're at that point now where technology, Tommy Pinball Wizard, fuck yeah. Ding 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 ding. Yep. You remember when he was doing his whole and he actually put the tremolo bar through his hand? He gave himself stigmata. Do you remember that? What was that? 90? That had to have been like 93? Oh my God, I'm fucking old, guys. I'm old. I graduated high school in 94. Yep, there's a reason why this color's like that. My hair is receding. I've always had a 5 head, though, a truck stop forehead. But it actually used to just be here. It was right here. You know what? My daughters, not the ones that live here, those are my girlfriend's daughters. But I call them mine because I love them to death. I need those high-rise boots. Actually, I do. I'm only 5'9". I ain't tall at all. My daughter's got the big forehead thing, too. God bless them. They're still beautiful, but of course they are. I made them. I've been doing that a lot tonight with the whole... I don't know. But, I don't know. I forget what I was saying. Someone remind me what I was saying before all that. Before Game Czar was like, I just finished something. The Crow 2, City of Angels was my good movie. Changed my mind. I don't want to change your mind, because if you think it's cool, then groovy, man. I don't think I've ever seen it. The first one was cool. Really cool. But, I don't know. I forget what I was saying. Someone remind me. Where was I going with that? Just before Ordo Necro had to fucking interrupt me. No, I'm sorry, Game Czar. Game Czar had to interrupt me. Big Unit. Let's see, we're talking about his penis. I don't know. Either way, whatever I said, it's true. It's true. It's good stuff. First one is great, but it makes me sad to watch. Well, because of Brandon? Because of Brandon, that was tragic. That was fucking tragic. Shit happens, I suppose. You know, people sit there and do the whole, it all happens for a reason. I can't get behind that. I can't get behind that because I've noticed a lot of people who say that, sweet, I caught a stream while it was still live. Yeah, what's up, man? Or lady, I guess. I don't know. I just say man, all right? Everyone just get over that. If you want to correct me, it's ma'am, sir. You were talking about channel memberships. Thank you. There's a lot of interaction I want to do that goes beyond this, and I couldn't think of how to do it without it being overwhelming to me. So I figured if it was only a handful of people, perfect. Brady Goat 12, thank you for reminding me. Fuck, I can't talk tonight. So I set up the stupid membership thing a long time ago. Well, I say a long time ago. It's like a month or two ago. And I just made it live tonight before coming on. So the first thing we're going to do after the holidays is we're going to do a junk box. I'm going to put together a flat rate USPS box. It's only open to people in the lower 48 states. Only because I just don't want it to go into other countries and all that and come back. And the idea is I'm going to put a whole bunch of stuff in it. It's just going to be random junk. And when I say junk, some of it will be cool. Some of it will be kind of, you know. But it's literally a junk box. You go through the shit that you have extra of. You know what I mean? And you load up the box and you send it out to a list of people that gets generated ahead of time. And the first person gets it and they open it up without telling anyone what's in there. They pull out what they want. And then they replace that stuff with things of equal value. You know, don't fuck around. Don't take a Game Boy out and then put a copy of Combat in there. You know what I mean? And, Michael, okay. Oh, I think you've told me that before. Haven't we spoken before? If we have, I do junk box fuck the world. You don't like junk boxes, or is that what you want to call it? Or fuck the world? Only we 48 states get it. Please, Ordo Necro. Inquiring minds want to know. But yeah. So names are generated. The box goes per person. They show everybody what they got. Whether they make a video and I'll post it, or they share an image in the Discord. I'm going to get rid of all my Discord subscriptions or whatever, because that's why I got rid of it, because it was just constantly going off. And I will use that to communicate with members and anyone else who wants to be in there. But anytime members want to share something like that they've interacted, that's where we'll do it, you know? But back to the junk box. So then you tape it back up and you ship it off to the next person. Yes, at your expense. Everybody has to pay for it to get around, okay? And then it goes for each person who does the same thing. You show what you took from it, but you don't say what was in there that you left behind, and you don't say what you added to it. But you do keep that aside for now. And then once the box has gone all the way through, you show people what you put in there, and I show the box how it was when I sent it out, and then how I received it. So I'll do a video showing everything going in there, but I'll keep it private until I get it back. And show you what I ended up with and all that stuff. So they're really fun. The members over at Atari.io used to do them all the time, but then people were getting burnt. Like my good friend Willie of Arcade USA, he just has so much. So like getting a box like that's not really probably going to have anything for him. You know what I mean? And then the guy's going to spend the $15 and $20 to ship it to the next person while putting shit in there. So it's really it's a fun thing. It's not really to grow your collection, you know? And I'll do that a couple times a year. I got a couple of other things I want to do in the same vein to interact. So I figure rather than just saying it on my channel and having maybe 100 people ask to do it, I said, you know what, that thing with the join button, I think I'm going to use that. I'm going to implement that and make it a member-only thing. Trying to think of something clever to ask. Until that comes to me, I'll just say hello. Well, hello, sir. Hello, sir. You know, we were speaking about conversations earlier. Please stay in here. Please stay in here. We were talking about conversations earlier, how I had some kind of an issue with somebody. And I reached out with them, and we ended up having a conversation back and forth, and it kind of got resolved. The initial trigger was you thought I called you a bitch. I mean, I guess I kind of did, putting you in that video, Bitch Boys Unite or whatever. But you could have just came to me and been like, hey, because we didn't even know who each other were. I just asked around who are the boisterous haters of the Amico. Because I don't even know that. And I just put a bunch of logos in there, man. There was nothing more or less. So if you want to have a conversation, my man, I'm open to it. And it probably should have been that to begin with. And I probably would have apologized at the time. So I'll just say I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you coming by and saying hello at least. Now, whether you're doing it to be smug, I'll take it as a gesture. I'll take it as a friendly gesture because I'm all done with it. I hope you know that. I'm walking away from it. I'm hearing all kinds of things from Canadian Gamer and videos, I don't watch it. I don't. So, if you want to have a conversation later on or another day or so, hell, I'll even give you my phone number. We can have that. But I do want to make it very clear, my friend. I want to make it very clear that there was no racial implications in anything I said. That's as far from the truth as possible. Now, as far as the putting the word gay in there, that was disrespectful. Whether I did or didn't know your sexuality. And I didn't. And you're right, but I'm an Irish guy who's got a thick head, so I'm not gonna back down when cornered. So that I'll publicly apologize for. But again, I have nothing against the LBG. I can't say it all. I'm not that smart. Community. I really have nothing. As a matter of fact, Saturday or Friday before Halloween, I think it was Friday, I can't remember. My girlfriend's company was one of the members, the doctors that she works for, was having a party at his place. And it was like us, one other couple, and nothing but gay people. Nothing but gay couples. It was a fucking fun party. I have a fun time all the time. So I really don't think about these things as far as like, hate, and I just don't actually think about them. I use my mouth, and it happens, There was this kid named, I hope you are still in here. I'll tell you all a fun story. When I worked for a Friendly's growing up, that was my first legit job, right? And there was this guy named, we'll just call him Seeley. I mean, that was his last name, but I won't say his first name. But all of his boyfriends would call and ask for Psycho Seeley. And I knew who they were talking about. I mean, this guy was gay to the max. I mean, he was flamboyant. Liberace ain't got shit on this cat. Fun dude. And here I am, 16, 17 years old. And he would say things, look at that, and I would fuck with him back, too, I'd be like, you couldn't handle this ass. I get my mouth on you and you'll want to marry this motherfucker. Whatever. But he used to go to this bar, it was like a leather bar. I don't know if any of you is old enough to know what a leather bar is, but it was, they called them that because the lifestyle wasn't as accepted then, obviously. And I was 17 and couldn't get into bars, but you bet your ass I got into that bar with Mike. Now, don't get me wrong, I never engaged in any of that. I've never been attracted to the same sex. But I would fucking party up with those motherfuckers. If you want to party, oh my God. So please, for the love of God, don't take anything I've said seriously. If we had just had a conversation. Oh, I'm confusing you with somebody else, the other Gen X guy. I'm sorry, dude. See how not smart I am? Oh, it's too many Gen X's out there. I'm sorry, dude. I got into an argument with some guy named Gen X Gamer. I am so sorry. I gotta get these fixed. I feel like an idiot. Well, I hope he sees all that. Maybe, maybe not. I'm so confused. Do you think I'm somebody else? I did. I'm that guy who reviewed. Yeah, I know who you. I just saw Gen X. I didn't even look at the avatar. Everyone want to roast me. I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3. It can be a one-word roast. 2, 1. Go. I know there's a delay, so I got to wait for this now. Is sharing his feminine side. Dude, I got all sides, my friend. I got all sides. I love everybody. I really do. But there are some people I do hate. So, like there's some guys that have the name of one of my favorite shooters. I really hate that guy. Dork. Is that the best you can come up with? No, I got into some beef with this guy named Gen X Gamer. I put him in a video, and he lost his fucking mind. I think I was calling him a bitch. I really was kind of hoping you were him. I was hoping that would have opened up dialogue, but I don't know. It is what it is. But dude, thank you for coming by, man. I love your channel. I'm a viewer in the shadows, so to speak. Most of you that have channels, I'm there. I'm watching. I'm just in the shadows, you know what I mean? I try to stay to myself a lot of times. And I've been watching Gen X Grown-Ups videos for a while now. I really like his presentation. It's very professional and very There are some people that you listen to like me, and they don't really, it's not a channel that you can just kick back and listen to. His is, and you learn a lot from it. Really good stuff, man. Thank you for coming by, and thank you for not making me look like an asshole, but me being confused enough to make myself into an asshole because of your name. But yeah, no, that's great. I was asking Creep earlier what the first Atari game introduced to a newbie is. I'd like your opinion on that also. Yeah, that'd be great. What did I come up with? Did I say I said Space Invaders? Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have influenced him. Oh, look at this, Alan. It's like, dude, it's not him. It's not him. Oh, you're thinking of... Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys. Somebody make a video about that. Making fun of me. How old is the newbie? Anybody. I say a young kid. But Auto Necro, it's your question, man. Space Invaders. Yes, Mike. That's where I went. That's where I went. Nice. Atari 2600 game. Oh, yeah. Or arcade. I say stick with the console. Anyone who's never played Atari. That's what I'm trying to do with this 4-switch Woody I got here. I've said it a few times in a few of these videos that I got a 4-switch Woody and a small stack of games I want to give away to somebody who's never experienced the Atari 2600. Pepsi Invaders! Yeah, we brought that up too, huh? Ooh, Berserk. Berserk, that's a good one too. That might be a little too tough for people for their first time. Especially if they're used to today's games. Activision games for the 2600. Give them those. Right? Right? That's good stuff right there. But yeah, I got a console waiting to go. I was going to try to make it until 2,000 subscribers and then give it away. But I don't know. I'm getting antsy to give it away. I want to give it to a young person or someone who hasn't experienced it, Like, I was on a live stream with that Saggy Melons, and she had no idea. They did Marry, Fucker, Kill with 2600, 7800, and the Jaguar. And I said I would fuck the Jaguar because it's sexy. I would kill the 2600 and marry the 7800 because it can do the job of the 2600, What does some of you marry, fuck, or kill? Your choices are 2600, 7800, and Jaguar. Go. Adventure was put up there too. First I'd introduce someone. It's probably Combat for the pure multiplayer fun. Followed closely by Adventure for single player bliss. Fantastic. Tic Tac made a new flavor. Coca-Cola made a real cola. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. I'm a Pepsi guy, but I'm down with that. I could never find Oink. I didn't know Oink existed until like the late 90s. Early 2000s. Never knew it existed. Oh, man. What else we got going on here? So yeah, I mean, if you guys feel like participating in any of that stuff, I mean, of course, there you go. F5200. Aww. 5200 has its place in the world. We just need to find a more convenient kind of controller for it. I mean, I know there's that kit you can buy and you get 3D print the case for it. Willie of Arcade USA had one of those. I wouldn't mind getting one of those. As a life partner. You bet your ass 7800 would be a life partner. It'd be a good one, too. Gemini. I mean, 7800 is a 2600 technically. Well, it has the ability to play the 2600. After playing Vicky, I was blown away by what the 7800 could do. Dude, 7800 could compete with the NES had Atari not fucked off. Really, the only true downfall of the system was, well, two. They didn't have a lot of third-party development. And the sound chip. They used the same stupid sound chip as the 2600. I never played Jaguar. Oh, Gen X, thank you so much, man. Keep doing your Atari thing with a great big heart, he said. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate your channel. I appreciate your stuffs. The sound chips. Yep. Yep. 7800 wouldn't play video chess. Really? I didn't know that. I don't think there is one for the system anyway, right? Wait a minute. How did the 2600 play chess? I'd love to see a 7800 version of Castlevania. Yes! And use the Europad for it, or one of Video Game Boy's custom controllers. That dude is awesome. If you guys haven't bought one of his controllers yet, I don't know what y'all doing with your life. Nintendo, Sony, PlayStation is a great console. It's real. You know what? Did you guys ever see the video I made about the Atari Entertainment System or whatever it was? And the deal that Atari and Nintendo had made? And then Coleco showing Donkey Kong on their computer and stuff like that, screwed it all up. And it turned out Atari was just going to stall them so they can come up with money to make their own next console. It was just a crazy story. But believe it or not, Atari was asked to bring the NES to the States. If none of you knew that, or if any of you didn't know that. And it got fucked up because of greed and stuff. Same with the PlayStation thing, you know? Nintendo had a deal with Sony because they were on the cutting edge of discs. And I think it was, Philips that they ended up going to make another deal with? Yeah, because the CDI had a couple of Zelda games as a result. And a Mario game. 2 of them, right? 3 Zelda and 2 Mario. But Sony was like, oh, so you're just going to bail on us like that? Okay, we're going to rule the world now. Game over. And they did. They fucking certainly did. Imagine the Atari Entertainment System. I don't know what it would have been called, but yeah. They said, hey, go ahead and get Atari on the phone. Let's see if we can't work out a deal with them. Because Atari still had a name, regardless of the crash or not. Atari was still the leading American video game company. So Nintendo wanted to reach out to Atari. That's how big they still were. Little they know that they were fucking around. Dummies. Stupid dummies. Although I think it's better the way it went. You know what I mean? Nintendo had their own thing going on here. And unfortunately, Atari kept dropping the ball. It's sad, but the video game systems that came out of all that were great. The Genesis being the greatest console of all time. All time, guys. Changed my mind. You won't do that. Love the Genesis. When I bought that thing, it was As a matter of fact, I think I have a Genesis controller right here. Yes, I do. I got my Genesis controller right here. Next to my Mattel Electronics baseball. Do I have batteries in this? I hope not. Oh, I do. I should probably take the battery out so it doesn't rot in there. All right, what's going on in here? How many 2600 games do you have, Creep? Let me go to Video Games Monthly. Seriously, let me look at my list over there. I don't know. 2 rows. I have 2 rows. That's all I know. All right, so let me go into my account. Hey, we're glad you're back, it says. Hopefully you don't see any of this. All right. So let me go into my update thing, 2600, edit my game gallery. And it says on the bottom that I have 109. That's wrong. I mean, I have a whole bunch of doubles and everything, too. I think a couple of my Zonks cards aren't in there because I'd like to have upgrades anyway. But it looks like a little over 100 cartridges. It's not the extensive wall of Atari I used to have. Sadly enough, but it is what it is. You remember the game cast from Malibu's Most Wanted? No, I never really got into that. Again, TV is not my jam, you know. Oh yeah, imagine Atari Entertainment System. Okay, I'm caught up here. The bright side of the PlayStation probably wouldn't have been such a big deal if it was just an add-on. It probably wouldn't have. Maybe it would have became its own thing. Who knows? Who knows? You know, there's only one history we truly know, and we can only speculate about anything else. It's fun to do so, though, right? There's only one prototype of the Nintendo PlayStation. Yeah, I remember. The thing's been on tour a few times, and I played many 2600 games with 3-button Genesis controller. I did too. When I found out they were compatible, oh, you bet your ass I did. Again, Spider Fighter is a great example of a game that benefits from having a D-pad. There's a guy on Instagram that makes some slick custom Genesis games. Toysaurus, yeah, I know Toysaurus. I know Toysaurus very well. We've been mutual on my Atari Creep account for years. Toysaurus, yeah, I forgot he made games. Wow, it's been on. Is he still doing it? I don't recall seeing any cartridges on his account lately. But then again, I haven't been on there lately, so friggin' Spider Fighter. Yes, I love it, dude. I love it. I missed my beige tank, the Atari 800. Oh, man, you should have been in my stream a couple days ago. I was reflowing the solder on my 800. The joystick port was loose. So I had my 800 and I was tapping in some solder. 800, man. Tell me about your restoration. Okay. See, I need to read all of these. Before I say. OG computer? Or is it a recent acquisition? What work did it need? And how does it work now? It works amazing. It just needed the controller port to be stabilized. It is not my OG. I've never had an 8-bit computer before these. A buddy of mine up in New Hampshire, I got a copy of a DVD or a Blu-ray or something and it had a digital code. And he was wanting to go to it, but he was in a financial situation where he wasn't able to go. You know, it was like food, rent, you know. So I gave him the key to see the movie. And he just, the next time he came down, he's like, here's an Atari 800 for you, my friend. Thank you for doing that for me. Told him no, but he gave it to me. So no, it was not my original one. I never had one. I never stepped into the world of the 8-bit computer, with the exception of my XEGS, which never worked because I couldn't find the power supply. I bought the thing, put it on the shelf, and somewhere between buying it and bringing it home, the power supply grew legs. So it just sat on the shelf for the longest time, and I collected cards for it and never got to use it. So, yeah. It was just, I just had to reflow some solder. But the thing works pissa now. It's awesome. Remember when Mario Bros. Came on the Atari 2600? And then the Nintendo? Yeah. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, in my early days of going on Instagram, back during the Gamer Geek Nation days, I used to do combinations like that, because what I would do is I would put a Nintendo game inside of an Atari console playing with a Genesis controller, you know, doing those fun little mashups. I used to do that all the time. Now, you don't get that anymore, you know? I did a whole video about that. Imagine that today. Can you imagine mashing 3 systems up like that? Using a PlayStation controller on an Xbox One playing a Nintendo game? Oh my God. You would think if I had tried to introduce that today, people would look at me like it happened. It happened. Let's see, what else? Royal Echo. Yeah, dude. I just got Bruce Lee in Streets of Rage 3. Awesome. I was a C64 kid. Never had an Atari computer. My friend had a C64, and I was enamored by it. I was so in awe. Didn't really play too many games on it. We did play games, but you know what we did most? I mean, he had Prodigy. Remember? Does anyone remember Prodigy? One of the first internet dealios. It was all text. We would set the thing, the modem, to dial homes, so people would answer it. It would just go, oh, shh. It was funny back then, and you could hear them. Hello? We were bored. Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong were on the 2600. Yeah, they were charming, man. I love Atari 2600 Mario Bros, man. I could play that all day long. Gen X Grown Up says, my 800 was my second love after my 2600, which I sold to help buy the 800. Yeah, and that's still a great memory, man. What a fantastic memory. Sad that I sold the Atari Club exclusive Crazy Climber complete for like $5. Oh, that's not a fun story. That's not a fun memory. Laser Active guy. I'm an Apple II guy. I remember Apple IIs very well in school. Do a lot better programming. I never got into any of that programming. The 10 codes or whatever they're called. I never got into BASIC. I have a BASIC set up for, the cartridges and all that for the 800. I don't know if did the TI-99 have BASIC? I'm pretty sure it did. I'm sure it had a version of it, right? I'm loving my TI-99, even with its original controller. I'm enjoying the hell out of that. I want more games for that than anything. I definitely want TI Invaders and their Pac-Man. What was it called? Munchman or something weird like that. Apple II guy. Okay, we read that. And Televis John says you can. Oh, stop talking. You can use an Xbox controller on a Nintendo Switch to play Sega games. Ooh, okay. Now you're talking my language. That's awesome. I spent a lot of time on the Apple II, but it was way too expensive to own. I was going to make that joke, and that's why I leaned in and said in school, because ain't a motherfucker I grew up with that had money like that. Well, if you want McDonald's, you need to find McDonald's money. I've done some. I still cry about that a lot. Yeah, Auto Necro we all have, my friend. Yeah, TI had BASIC. Okay. I'm sure it was basic. For sure, Auto Necro, generation growing up. Got so enjoyment out of the 800. I got the value out of, you know what? The 800, the Atari computer line. See, the 5200 would have done great if they didn't hire a we don't know what we're doing company to make a controller for it. Because that was basically their 8-bit computer scaled a little bit down for a home console, which ended up becoming the XEGS in 1987 anyway. That is the greatest Atari console ever. Sad that it didn't, It's sad that they're so fucking expensive now. I wish I had mine. TI had some great games. They really did. And the voice module, games that'll talk smack back to you is great. Tunnel of Doom. I have Tunnels of Doom, but don't you need like a cassette player and all this memory stuff to play it? I can't seem to get it to work. And then someone told me in a live stream when I was using it that there was something I had to get it to work. So I don't remember now. Silver Lining, homies. My rib is back. What? Oh, McRib. I know. I had 2 of them yesterday. And if you were here earlier in the stream when I was eating, it was actually a McRib wannabe that's bigger. I was Circle K Mobile down the street. And they sell the big-ass burgers and all that. I don't eat that junk, but when they come out with the rib sandwiches, I know they're gross. I know they're not like real ribs. One lady said to me, it's like eating head cheese. I'm like, yeah, yummy head cheese. But my girlfriend bought me 2 of them yesterday. I ate one, put it in the fridge, and then I went down to get my... I don't drink soda that much anymore, so I get one of these a day, and I just kind of sip on it. But for the most of the time, I'm just drinking this tonic water with a little bit of that raspberry flavor that they put in, a lime flavor. I'm trying to slow down on this shit, but once in a while, I got to go get one of these and just kind of suckle upon it throughout the day. But, yeah, I've got 2-minute video with some of my Apple II working. You can play vids, can you? I probably could, but I'll fuck it up, dude. I'll fuck it. Everyone go to his channel, Laser Active Guy. Is it on your channel? Everyone go check that video out. I don't know if links are activated or not in the chat, but if you want to put it in there, you're more than welcome, my friend. Again, I'm not tech smart. I don't. You're lucky I'm even online. Let's see. Manga says, you say you were from the Boston area? I live in Malden, Medford for a few years. Missed the area. Oh, you're not in Malden anymore? I'm very close to Malden. Like, it would take me 4 minutes to walk to Malden. I'm in Melrose, bro. I'm in Melrose. And I don't mind telling people that. I don't care. Yeah, no, Malden, that's where I got in a lot of trouble as a kid. Melrose was boring growing up. So I would go over to Malden and hang out with my buddies that were over there. because there was no metal here in Melrose. It was all white kids trying to be urban. You know what I mean? They all thought they were rappers, and they were doing like their hair and shit like it too. And my town got made fun of a lot. Uh-oh, text message. We might be ending the stream to go get my ladies. But Malden, there was still a bunch of dudes who I met them through a music shop that was in Malden Square down off of Pleasant Street. I can't remember what it was called. Sterling Music, I think. And I met a whole bunch of dudes there, and then, we would just get into trouble and all that. Let me read this real quick and make sure. Yep, the ladies are done with their concert, their symphony orchestra concert. I need to go pick them up, folks. Let me see if no more comments or anything. Let me catch up on everyone, and we'll just say goodnight. FujiNet. I used to work for a company called Olin Sibagagi, which was eventually bought by Fuji. So Malden's all right. Malden's turned into a pretty rough town. Gunplay is not too uncommon now there. My XCGS is internet ready. That's awesome. All right, everybody. Let me just read Laser Guy's last. This is the title you can look up. Let me write it down. I'll look it up in a few minutes after I get back from picking up the old ladies. 5 double graphic promo. Apple II computers. Everyone write that down and go check it out. I'm definitely going to... Oh, don't throw that over there. I got to put it right here on the laptop. Everybody, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. Guys, thank you for the super chats, especially Gen X growing up. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for putting up with my stupidity earlier. I really thought you were somebody else. The Gen X part really confused me because there's a lot of channels out there called Gen X this, Gen X that. Gen X growing up is such a sweet name, though. That's pretty cool because that's literally what we are. I was born in 75. I'm Gen X 100%. And I'm proud to be. Guys, thanks for hanging out. 17 people in here? Holy shnikes. Well, I don't know. If any of you are friendly with the other Gen X guy, bring him to this video. Let him listen to what I said. Maybe something good will come out of it. And if it doesn't, I don't care. I would rather make the peace, but either way. All right, guys, have a good night. I really do appreciate you coming by. And I hope you're doing well. And until next time, take care, creep it real, and bye-bye.